Hi, my name is Vineet Duvara, the Chief Product Officer at Fluke. One of the things I get really passionate about talking is product making. We are in the business of innovation, and a lot of times we forget that there are people behind these products that are toiling to understand the customer, solve little problems that create magic in the products. Today, I'm joined by Kelly, Will, Alex, and Elliot to talk about the magic of product making. One of the fascinating things that we would like to learn is how did the spark for Surya came about? What is the genesis? Can one of you tell me about this?
My background is in the solar industry. I've got almost 20 years experience in solar and ground faults, and not only identifying ground faults, but locating them has been a problem that has plagued the solar industry since the beginning. It's especially pervasive in the utility scale projects where they spend a lot of time locating these ground faults. And our idea was to develop a tool that would enable them to locate those ground faults and repair them much faster than other techniques that we currently have.
I have to say this product really came about from starting with a really deep stab at trying to understand the problem that customers were facing. We were probably easily 3 months into the project and dozens of VOCs into exploring the problem space before anything close to this particular product came up as a solution. And the sort of solution itself came out of ideation session and further follow-up that really reached across a lot of existing expertise within Fluke. The product itself is related in some ways to our wire tracing products. And so we were able to make some faster progress with validation and early prototyping by really pulling on the expertise that we have internally.
How did we hear about the problem? And how did you go and validate these customer scenarios to know, truly understand what is the job to be done for the customer and what is our solution set?
A problem that came up really often was resource constraints and time to get the site online. So as we all know, when a site is down, when an inverter trips offline, when a solar array is down due to a ground fall, the site loses the ability to actually make money. And that's when the pressure comes on, how fast can we find this ground fault? How fast can we bring this site back up online? So we really were able to feel the customer's pain in terms of the pressure that they were under to work around hazardous voltage, but also try to come to a solution as quickly as possible.
This problem we found was so acute for customers that it didn't really take too much to get them talking about the pain that they were experiencing. And that's really what we wanted to dive deeper on. So a lot of our understanding of the pain points really came from hearing customers' frustration when they talked about going out and dealing with ground faults.
As a part of the voice of customer work, are there specific problems that the customer expressed that you really wanted to solve?
The biggest challenge in developing the GFL-1500 is the nature of the problem that we're trying to solve. Faults are absolutely painful to troubleshoot. And that's partly because they can show up in so many different ways, in so many types of different systems that are out there. And part of what customers struggle with is bringing the right troubleshooting approach and knowing what steps to take when they may be in a different type of PV system, or when it may be a type of fault or root cause that they've never dealt with before. A fault could be caused by trackers rotating and pitching a wire. It could be caused by a wire that's flapping in the wind, loose and occasionally making contact, or a wire that's getting wet in the racking or underground. And we wanted to make sure that we had a solution that was covering a broad cross-section of that problem space.
Fantastic. What excited you most about working on this project? Was there a team or a personal reason that galvanized the team saying, yeah, this is something we want to go after?
I can speak from a personal reason. For me, I actually always wanted to work within kind of renewable energy space, so including solar, starting back in college. And I didn't actually realize at that time that solar was part of the Fluke portfolio or part of the strategy. So I've been really excited to become more immersed in that space and get to work on products that empower our customers working in solar to keep our world up and running.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Can you think of a moment when, during the building process, the team showed exceptional dedication or creativity in solving problems?
Really proud, I'd say, overall of our team throughout this whole project has been pushing hard every moment, every day, and innovating, whether that's in small ways or major ways for the project. And so I'd highlight one specific example where they really dug in and provided new innovation is with some initial diagnostics that the product provides. And so the algorithm behind that required some adjustments after learnings we had from the field. And so really applying what do we have with the existing hardware that we can work with, what is the most helpful information to provide to our user, and being able to work with the calculations to provide an effective solution.
It's incredible. Looks like great team dynamic and something that is galvanizing the team together. How do we know that we actually solve the problem?
The big problem with fixing ground faults is time and pinpointing exactly where the ground fault is locating. Currently, in a lot of utility scale projects, when they identify a string that has a ground fault, they take it offline. They don't even fix the ground fault. They just open the fuse, take it offline so they can get the rest of the system back up and running. With the GFL-1500, they should be able to identify the string with the ground fault and then very quickly locate it so they can fix it and then get that part of the system along with the rest of the array online. I think that's a real value that the tool brings in a solution that we currently don't have in the market.
Part of what made me really excited to work on the project was knowing that we were approaching it through discussions with customers and learning from customers. Because this was a newer space for us to be delving into, there was a lot of learning to do. And I always have a little more curiosity to know what to do with. And so being able to have the time with customers to really dive into understanding a new problem was exciting. It's also really excited by the opportunity of working on a troubleshooting problem. And to me, those are kind of some of the most challenging and interesting types of problems that customers face. It's not just a straightforward process that has to be accomplished. There's an end goal that they're trying to achieve with a lot of unknowns in the way.
Fantastic. It's so magical to hear that, without having to dig out the floor, you're able to discover these problems for our customers, and how much of effort and passion goes into truly understanding the customer and also building solutions. It's just fascinating. Is there a point in time when the team felt aha on something, saying, wow, we have arrived, or anything like that?
I'm so proud of how the team has really both focused on the customer and really driven effort throughout the entire project. There's been challenge after challenge, where we learn, okay, this didn't work quite as we expected, or just the problem space itself is large. There's a lot of different solar configurations, complexities to the application. And so the consistency of the team to show up and say, continue coming up with creative solutions, continuing to innovate, to not get discouraged by the problems that we're facing, and to stay focused on the customer.
And these are the things, personally for me, I get excited every day because we have such a focus on a customer, trying to solve the problems, being passionate about it, and knowing that we are trying to find solutions in areas that are innovative. We don't have a perfect solution. We are building prototype, experimenting, iterating, improving every day in the true spirit of Kaizen, our philosophy of daily continuous improvement. So just fascinating to see what you guys have created.
We set out to create a product that was highly uncertain. It's a new to world product, and a lot of that required, iterations and really, and a lot of discussions with the team and going back and forth, working through trade-offs. How can we put the best product out there for our customers? And it was really working with experts in their field, people who are great at UI, UX, people who are great at ID, people who are technically really strong, and just getting to where we are today, where we're really close to launch and having a product that we believe customers will love.
I think for me, the seeing the different iterations and seeing how it's changed from the very early field testing we did with not even prototype products, to seeing the unit as it is now. But I think for me, what I'm most looking forward to is seeing how customers use this in the field and getting it out there and seeing their excitement. I know we've been talking about this for a while now. We've been talking to customers about this tool coming out, and anyone I talked to, they said, when can I get, can I be a beta tester for this? Like, yeah, I want it now. So I think getting to see how they use it, such a dynamic and flexible tool, I think is going to fit really well into lots of different workflows. And I think customers are going to really love it and appreciate how fast they can fix problems.
I'm most proud of how much team work has gone into developing this product. From across engineering and product and industrial design and mechanical engineering and our other collaborators. I had never anticipated how many moving pieces have to be involved to make a project like this successful. And I'm just really proud to be a part of the team that's put this together, and proud of making a difference in saving customers time and keeping them safe.
Thank you for sitting down with us and joining us in the conversation to talk about GFL-1500, which is our ground fault locator product, and is going to be launching soon. And we are all super excited. The passion and the care that we have put in for our customers and our engineering is you're going to see that soon.